Can you hear them? The voices beneath the ash, the choir of the world. Long after the battle had ended, the silence remained. Not the peaceful silence of forgotten valleys, not the quiet of a sleeping world. This silence carried weight. It lingered over shattered kingdoms like a veil that refused to lift. The fires still burned where cities had once stood. The smoke still climbed into the heavens. And beneath the endless rain of ash, the world began to remember. The survivors noticed it first. Travelers crossing abandoned roads would suddenly stop, turning toward empty fields where no living soul remained. Some claimed they had heard distant voices carried by the wind. Others believed they heard forgotten songs echoing through ruined halls where no one had lived for months. At first they dismissed it as grief, the mind searching for familiar sounds, the heart refusing to let go. Yet the stories continued. In the ruins of the eastern capital, an old mason returned to search for what remained of his home. The streets were buried beneath broken stone. The great cathedral had collapsed into itself. Every stained glass window had melted beneath dragonfire. As he walked through the empty square, he heard singing, soft, distant, impossible. He followed the sound through shattered archways until he stood before the remains of the old throne room. There was no one there, only the wind moving through broken pillars. Yet the song continued. When he returned to the nearby village, he swore that the city itself had been singing. No one believed him, until others heard it too. The whispers spread, along mountain roads, through fishing villages, across lonely monasteries. People spoke of voices carried beneath the ash. Some said they belonged to the fallen. Others believed the earth itself mourned those who had been lost. The priests called it sorrow. The scholars called it imagination. But the oldest people of the northern kingdoms, those who still remembered fragments of the first age, gave it another name, the choir of the world, for they believed that no soul was ever truly forgotten. Every life left its echo. Every sacrifice became another voice. And when enough voices gathered, the world itself would sing. The rivers carried the choir. The forests answered it. The mountains returned its echoes. Every ruined city added another verse. Every battlefield another harmony. Every fallen kingdom another name woven into the endless song. It was no song of victory, nor was it a lament of defeat. It was remembrance, the last gift the world could offer those who had given everything. One evening, a company of weary soldiers made camp beside the ruins of an ancient bridge. No one spoke while they prepared the fire. There was little left to say. As darkness settled around them, one young soldier suddenly looked toward the trees. "Did you hear that?" The others listened. At first, nothing. Then, voices, faint, almost carried away by the wind. Not words, only harmony. One by one, the soldiers removed their helmets. No one knew why. No one gave the order. It simply felt wrong to interrupt the song. When the voices finally faded, the oldest among them quietly spoke. "They remember us." No one asked who they were. Deep inside, every man already knew. Far across the kingdoms, mothers lit candles inside ruined homes. Not for kings, not for generals, but for sons, for daughters, for husbands, for friends whose names would never again be spoken aloud. As each small flame appeared against the darkness, it seemed another voice joined the unseen choir. The world refused to forget them. Yet even as the song of the fallen spread across the kingdoms, another whisper began to travel beside it. Not a song of mourning, not a prayer, a story, a name no one knew, a traveler, a warrior, a man who still walked toward the fire while the rest of the world mourned its dead. The choir carried every memory, but somewhere beyond the burning kingdoms, one living voice had not yet joined the song. Instead, it was walking toward destiny. When the last voice falls silent, who will remember us?